Welcome to Outlander Media Network. My name is Kirby Lee Bailey. We are at Full Moon Tattoo and Horror Festival, and I'm with Ry Barrett. Did I say it right?
Got it.
All right. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, man.
Is this your first con, or?
This is my first one in Nashville. This is, I think, my third US, second US, and I did right in the Falls. I've done a handful in Canada, but smaller, nothing like on this size. So.
Oh, really?
Well, Fan Expo, Toronto's Fan Expo. I've been to that a bunch, but at like filmmakers booths, I haven't had my own booth there. So, yeah.
What do you think about having your own booth? Love it.
It's pretty cool. It's great meeting everyone, fans and other guests and other vendors, and just getting to chat about the films and their films and what everyone's working on. And I'm such a big geek, such a big horror guy, and just a cinephile in general too. That like I come here and it's like a vacation for me too, because I just get to like see all this. So.
Funny thing is, we were making sure if I get any celebrity this weekend, it was going to be you. The one that I picked. You were my number one pick. And I've even had, Henry Thomas on here yesterday. But you were my number one pick because...
I'm also a huge geek and a fan, and I've gotten to hang out with him this weekend. I'm just like, yeah.
But you were my number one pick mainly because we have a year-end show where we have our top 5 overall movies, and then we had our top 5 horror movies that me and my camera person that we have listed. And like the main requirement for that movie is you had to be in a theater. I had to see you in a theater, and my number one was your movie.
That's
in a violent nature. It was. We saw tons. We do about 100 horror movies.
Oh wow!
I mean, 100 movies altogether a year.
So we had some competition. I mean, the past year there's so much great.
This past year was a very tough year, and you were like I said, your movie was my number one, not hers, but mine. And I was.
He said not hers.
That was me.
I'm just telling the truth.
I mean, you can't be across the board, and I totally don't expect that. So.
Well, she doesn't have good taste anyway. So.
What was yours?
Late Night with the Devil.
Great film. Love it.
Yeah.
I got to meet David Desmosman too.
Oh yeah.
He's a great, really nice guy, super talented. Yeah.
And Late Night with the Devil was in my top 5. I'll tell you that.
It was?
part.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it made the top 5
Yeah,
easy because it's a pretty incredible movie.
Oh, that's
also,
fantastic.
I mean, I love the whole third person, on this movie. And everybody was always talking about Blumhouse, and all of a sudden, Shudder and IFC are starting to really.
They've been crushing it.
And they have put out really freaking good movies.
They really have. And they got a bunch lined up, and a bunch that are coming out. I don't know if you guys went to the Overlook Film Festival at all, but it was just a couple weeks ago. But they had a couple that were there too, and we're celebrating the 10-year anniversary. So.
Well, will we see them? I think one of their movies has hit the theater this week. The Ugly Stepsister.
Yes, that's one of the. Yeah, I've heard great things.
We're definitely going to see that. That's on
You
my.
saw the shoe shot. Yeah,
It's definitely on my must-see list.
I think it won the audience award at Overlook.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, or like some kind. It won something. But.
I mean, we love the IFC thing. And like I said, they've called up, and we were fortunate enough to catch In a Violent Nature in the theater. Like I say, if you're not in the theater, we didn't put you in the. You don't go into the top 5 because we're a firm believer that the only way to see a horror movie is on the big screen.
Definitely adds to the experience. We got lucky. I mean, this was a tiny film, not like small budget and small crew and cast, and I mean that even shrunk because they had to shoot it twice. Well, the majority of the first time, a lot of stuff happened, but it just to be able to we actually ended up in theaters and to go to festivals we were at and everything is.
Well, the thing was, it had that cool thing, like when he's walking, the screen's changing. And I was like, that's kind of cool. I mean, it was just like, wow, what a movie. Who directed this?
Chris Nash. Have you looked into him at all? Or this was his first feature. He's done a bunch of other stuff, and first writing, directing feature, but he's done a ton of other stuff, special effects, and he's just a really intelligent guy. He knows the genre. He knows cinema, and he's kind of one of those guys that can just kind of do anything. So like he literally was on set like screwing things together and building and working with the special effects and then directing the scene, and yeah, he's the talent.
And also, like, your movie also had my number one kill of the year, too. Because the lady on the cliff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
The infamous Yoga kill. Yeah.
She didn't see the whole thing because she had to turn her head away, you know.
I showed it to my folks when they were, because we won the Angry Chainsaw Award for that kill.
Really?
And that was a big deal for me too, because I'm, horror kid, grew up like reading Fangoria and watching the Horror Hall of Fame and like all that kind of stuff. So we went, hung out with my parents and watched that, and it was the first time that they saw it. My mom was like, my dad was laughing his ass off, and my mom's like, my aunt and uncle are like.
I mean, it was like I said, when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, it's cool.
It's the real deal.
So, horror movie. What would be your favorite horror movie of all those horror movies you've ever seen? Maybe got you kind of doing a horror thing.
I've got a ton. I always have a hard time choosing one. One of my go-tos is always John Carpenter's The Thing. I watch it every year, usually twice. There's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Halloween, and I'm just a big Carpenter fan, and Wes Craven. But yeah, there's so many. It's hard to choose just one. So The Thing's my go-to.
I love The Thing on John Carpenter, but my favorite John Carpenter movie was They Live.
Oh, They Live's fantastic. Yeah, that's like right up there. I got like 3 copies of that. The VHS, the Blu-ray, yeah.
Oh, you got a VHS? You still have a VHS card?
Yeah, man.
Oh man, I can imagine that. You still live in Canada, or?
Yeah, I live in Toronto. Travel all around, and yeah. But I've only started doing conventions here recently because of major blew up. But it's also great because I'm coming and I'm finding that other people have seen my other films that I didn't. You never know what the distribution is like coming from another country, and you don't know who's actually getting to see your stuff elsewhere, right? So coming here and other people coming up and having seen other films, I'm like, great. I'm like, so we have seen not just the small group that in my head I'm like 20 people saw that movie.
Actually, we go to the movies a lot. We don't just do horror, but we just see a good movie the other night. You seen Sinners yet?
Sinners, no. I really want to see it. I hear, every time I go on Instagram right now, it's blowing up. So
it is. We saw it on opening night. We saw it Thursday night. We caught it then, and I'm gonna tell you, it's the best vampire movie I've seen since The Lost Boys.
Oh, really?
And I love The Lost Boys.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing everyone say the same thing. They're saying it's fucking phenomenal. So
and they try to make a little comparison with Dusk Till Dawn. Nah, it's a different type movie. It's very good.
That's good.
It flows.
Ryan Coogler does great work.
Well, that Coogler, he did a great job with the Black Panther movies. He did a great job with the Creed movies.
Yeah. He's a talented man. And he's doing, I just saw it was announced, he's doing a new X-Files. Give me more X-Files.
Because it's real. So, do you have another movie coming up?
This one just came out. This one was just released. Hyperborean. It's a horror comedy. It's part mystery. It's about a dysfunctional family that's about a whiskey baron who's doing one last kind of big ditch effort to make the last amount of money and move on. And so they found these barrels of whiskey in a ship that was like frozen. And they just came across and decided it's now theirs. Anyway, they find out that there's actually a body inside of one of the barrels that they're doing a whiskey tasting, and then they find out that I don't want to spoil it, but there's from there it goes on, and there's something supernatural in the barrel.
Is there going to be a theatrical release where I can go see it in the theater?
It did a small. It did like a festival tour and stuff, and it's fully released now, so it's on. You can stream it, and there's you can. Black Pond Films has distribution in Canada, but they'll also distribute down here. I don't know who their other distributor is here, but you should be able to find it.
Hopefully in the theater, because that's how I love to roll. I've always rolled like that. I don't know. And I tell you, when they started putting the 4D movies in, I don't know if you've ever seen a movie in 4D.
Yeah.
And it starts shaking while you're watching.
I was in one that actually was like spraying water while.
Yeah. When I saw, I think it was the second It. It was like being, I think, Bloodhouse Ride.
Yeah.
I was like,
And it's like for specific movies, I find it really kind of works. Whereas other ones, it's
it's like, we went there and saw Night Swim in 4D. And I was like, this was a waste of time. It's like Blumhouse. I'm getting to the point with Blumhouse. If they have a January release movie, I'm going to start avoiding it. I've got to figure that out.
Great cast.
What happened?
Fill that thing in with concrete.
But don't get me wrong. Blumhouse made it up for me with the new Drop movie, so I'll go with Drop.
They've done some great stuff for sure.
And like I said, there's IMAX and all that. Like, I can't wait to see Final Destination in IMAX when it comes out.
Yeah, I'm
'Cause
stoked for that.
All right, what's going to go on with this?
I follow Devin Sawa, like everyone's a fan. And he seems like a great guy. I haven't met him in person yet, but I follow his stuff. So he says he's not in it, but I don't know. I don't know. It's not.
Well, when they did the Final Destination,
And
they connected it to the first one. I was like, okay.
That was great. I love that. That like, the movie was already solid, and then that like solidified it.
So have you done anything here in Nashville besides hang out in the con, or have you been out?
I mean, I haven't really had much chance to explore yet. We went to a great sushi spot last night. We had a great dinner. My goal today is to get some Nashville chicken because got it that and some brisket, and I think we're gonna go hit Top Golf. I think it's called
Top Golf.
Yeah,
it's over
tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, you like to play golf?
Yeah, I'm terrible, and I haven't been playing for a long time. Like we started during lockdowns basically because it was the one thing you could actually get outside and still enjoy yourself. But I'm newly in love with golf. I never thought I would be, but I am now.
Well, let me tell you about this is how you have to view golf because when you go play the course, they always put you with some strangers and you go out there and play with them. I always remember, and this guy told me this the first time I went out there and played. All the good people that play golf really good are on TV. The rest of us are out here.
That's fair.
I remember one time.
It's one day you feel like you're hot one day, and then the next day you're like, I can't. It's why is it going everywhere else? But sorry.
One time I saw Tiger Woods shoot a 77, and he didn't make the cut. I said, hell, if I'd have shot a 77, I'd have framed it.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
I remember one time I was playing golf with these guys, and on the front nine, I had shot like a 38. And these guys said, man, you're really good. I said, I'm just having the luckiest day of my life is what this is. And shot a 56 on the back nine. Oh, yeah, this is how I normally shoot. Yeah. This is about par.
That's the thing. Once it's in your head, and then you're like, now.
Like I said, I was hitting everything that day in that front nine. And they were like, man, you must play this on a pro. No, I'm just hitting every lucky shot on the face of this planet right now.
I felt that before. I was in the only golf tournament I've ever played. It was on Prince Edward Island with my partner and her family. It's like a big thing to do every year, but it was my first time doing it. And I won because of my handicap. But it was also the best game I've ever played in my life, too. And I was just like, I won? They got a green jacket and they award you with and everything. It's pretty funny.
Well, the funny thing is, you'll sit there and I've got a pretty good swing when I drive off. Sometimes, like on a par 4, I can get on the green in 2 shots.
Yeah.
And then I'll 6-putt the hole.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they say you drive for show, you putt for dough, is what they also say out there. It's like, God, and they're right. You get out there on that golf course, like, oh man.
Yes.
And I've done it, I don't know how many times. You'll love Top Golf, and they have great driving ranges out there.
Yeah, it looks. We drove by it the other day. We went to the sushi spot, Oka Sushi. I think it was. It was really good, but it was like right around the corner.
I saw a concert at Top Golf one time. They have a concert venue down there too. I saw the Fix.
Oh, cool.
They were an old '80s band.
Yeah, no, I got a playlist with them on it.
Oh, really?
What's their?
One thing leads to another.
One thing leads to another. Yes, that's right. That's the one. That's always And we actually have We have friends here she's a country music artist, Ali Walker. She moved down here just a year or two ago, and she's doing great right now. So we actually came down and got to visit with them, and we're hanging out with them afterwards. And she's doing great right now too. So check her out if you see the name Ali Walker anywhere. Check it out. She just released we actually just did a music video with it too.
Really?
Me and my partner's, she's an actor as well. She's also in this and a bunch of stuff I've done. But we did a music video together for her new single and called "Write It Out," and it's about it's like a pirate ship country song. Anyway, yeah, check it out.
We will. We're going to wrap this up. Let you get back to what you were doing. And we appreciate you being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And we are Outlander Media Network, and we're out of here.